Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Cherrell. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show, and this ain't a podcast. I want to thank you guys for tuning in with me this Tuesday like you guys do every Tuesday. We got a great show in store. Tonight, we are discussing the Oscars 2022 and black hair. So make sure you click that little arrow in the right corner and share this conversation with 3 friends you think will love it. We got so much to talk about tonight. But before we jump right in, you guys know the routine. I got to give you something that I'm grateful for, and you got to drop something in the comment section that you're grateful for. As always, I will go first. I will say that I am grateful for, I feel like I've had an increase in faith, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for knowing when I feel like I'm straying away from God, and so in just faith and having faith in that, you know, I know He's going to do what He said He's going to do. And He's going to do a little bit of what I want Him to do too. So I really am just grateful for the faith that I have, the increase in faith that I've been given, and that we've been working on that. So yeah, that's what I'm super excited, grateful for. Let's see here, because my camera did real crazy. I don't even know what happened. So I don't know, y'all. I don't know why this thing did this. All right, so let's go with that. Okay, whatever. So let's go ahead. We're going to share this conversation with 3 friends that I think will love it. You have to get on. Okay, so give me a second. Go ahead and share this conversation with 3 friends that I think would like it. Okay, perfect. So let's jump right into it. Let me see something here. Okay. Let's go black hair. I'm gonna put this in the comment section. So yeah, let's pin this. All right. So we're gonna jump right into it. I didn't want to, it's not that I didn't want to talk about a lot, but I just really didn't want this episode to be overshadowed by Will Smith. But I do want to talk about because of Will smacking Chris, the line has been drawn in comedy. And I had a really good conversation yesterday talking about where there needs to be a line drawn in comedy. And basically it's just like we need to take the jokes about people's appearance off the table. I just want to say that I can understand being triggered by a joke, because I feel like 2 things can be true. I feel like when you're the butt of the joke, you just do not laugh as hard at the joke. And that's understandable. Nobody who's the butt of the joke really does, unless they just really have some thick skin or something like that. So I can see where you don't laugh at the joke. But my thing is, when we start allowing people to respond to violently to jokes, what does that say? What does it say when we allow people to respond violently to jokes? Where is the line being, that line is clearly being drawn now in comedy. And it's like, well, what's going to happen next when somebody else doesn't like the joke that they're the butt of? What happens? How are they going to respond to the person telling the joke? And a lot of people are saying, and this is not just Chris Rock, this is not just Will Smith, this is anybody. What's going to happen the next time somebody makes a joke and the butt of the joke don't like it? Where they're gonna get shot at a comedy club, or what's going to happen? What does this say? And that's the one thing that I thought about when he smacked him. It's like everybody's like it was a joke. Granted, there have been some, there's some other context that we got to put into place that we're gonna talk about. But what happens when people start violently responding to jokes? What does that say? What does that look like for comedy clubs? What does that look like? So it's like, I don't know what y'all think. Do y'all think that the line should be drawn where people shouldn't comment on people's appearances? I know we've seen comments about, I believe, Tracy Braxton, Chadwick Boseman, most notably. So what do you guys think? Should we just stop talking about people the way they look, or should we just should people just come to comedy clubs strapped up just in case it get the popping because they don't like the joke? What do you guys think? Because I feel like to say that Will Smith only slapped Chris Rock over the joke no. He slapped that man for more than that. And when we put into context that Chris made derogatory comments about Jada when she wasn't at the Oscars, I believe in 2016, and the fact that they just really don't seem to be cool, it makes sense. It makes sense that they got beef. So it's you shouldn't have opened your mouth. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that, like, people are going to respond more violently to jokes? I feel like people about to be scrapping in comedy clubs, no cap. I feel like somebody tell a joke and they'll like it, niggas is about to be fighting. Like, so you come to a comedy club and you tell a joke or something, you better be ready to scrap. And if you at the comedy club and somebody tell a joke on you, like, they might be ready to scrap. I don't know. I feel like I get it was a joke. I feel like a lot of people, I mean, some people with alopecia don't think it's funny, but I feel like there are a lot of people who got it who've been able to find humor in it. And I feel like a lot of people have diseases that they've been able to find humor in, and it's not that big of a deal. Maybe Jada just hasn't found the humor in it, or it could be she just hasn't found the humor in it, and she didn't like who delivered the message. Because from the derogatory comments he made about her in 2016, when Jada was trying to bring awareness to the fact that there was a lack of representation at the Oscars, he went on and on. I heard for about like a 5-minute rant. So maybe it's that Jada doesn't like Chris Rock. You know, maybe she don't like that nigga. And maybe Will know she ain't like that nigga. And maybe he know his wife has also struggled with that. On top of the fact that him not liking that nigga from previous comments. And then he made a joke about something that she's struggling with. Bitch, I'm about to slap you. Like, maybe that was it. But we're going to bring that up in too. Because a lot of people said Will's mental health. And I want to say this. I am all for understanding mental health, getting therapy. I 100% support men and women of color going to therapy. Because Lord fucking knows we need it, right? But when we start using people's trauma as a means to justify their actions, we're really playing on a thin line here. Because there have been plenty of times where we've seen other people try to use people's trauma as a means to justify their actions, and we wasn't going for it. So are we now going to say the very same thing for somebody because we like them or they're a icon in our community? Like, we have to be very careful and understand that we're treading a very thin line when we start using the trauma that people have gone through to justify their actions. Because it's all fun and games until it's somebody you know. And then there people are trying to use their trauma to justify their actions. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen the clip of Will saying that he grew up in a very violent household and feeling like maybe he wasn't able to protect his mother and whatnot. And it's like, I completely understand how that could leave an impression on you as a child. I completely understand how that can leave you traumatized and how you can carry that on to your relationships. 100%. And I've also heard, like, he's in therapy. He's been working through that. And he talks about these things in his book, which are all amazing things. 100%. But. I'm never going to say that there's a time and a place for mental health, because that's the one thing about it. It can be unpredictable. But I think that if that was the beef, if his beef was with Chris Rock, if his beef was just that I've been overwhelmed and this motherfucker that made a joke that tipped me over the edge, I feel like that's a poor ass excuse. That's a poor ass excuse. Point blank. He could have stood up from his seats and been like, bitch, keep my wife motherfucking name out your mouth, and it would have gave the same effect. He could have cut the fuck up for 5 minutes straight from his seat and made that shit known very wide and very clear. Like, bitch, we ain't playing no games. And I feel like he would have got the same effect. He would have shut it down. And then we would still be talking about it like we are now. Maybe not as much, but I think the slap, in my opinion, if you guys haven't realized, I feel like the slap was excessive. We got a comment that says, I hope it doesn't become a trend. I won't lie. I laughed at Chris getting hit, but after reflecting, it was a multitude of stress Will was going through. He felt like he was getting masculinity back. Definitely. I love that. I definitely hope it doesn't become a trend, but I can see in such a violent society that we're starting to live in, I can see that becoming a thing. He ain't like the joke that was made, you know what I'm saying? I can see that becoming a thing. I hope it doesn't, but I can definitely see it. And it's like, yeah, we know Will had a lot of stress. That slap was not just for that joke. It was a bunch of shit. But it's like, you couldn't have handled that any other way. And a lot of people are saying, like, you don't get to dictate how somebody responds to your disrespect. And I get it. But was it really disrespect? You know what I'm saying? Like, was he really out there like, Jada, bullhead ass? Like, was he really out there like that? That's what I'm saying. It's like, you can't allow somebody. It's like, did he come out there and make a joke and take was that meant to harm her? Was he intentionally trying to harm her, take a dig at her, humiliate her, embarrass her? Was that the intent? Because if that is the case, then obviously that is disrespect. Then you respond to that. But it's like, if that wasn't the case and it was just a joke that somebody wrote and he wrote it about Jada and, you know, whatever. And it's just like, then you went up there and you slapped that man because you was just stressed the fuck out. And I do want to say this because I feel like I want to say that I can see it from all perspectives, and I really want to give everybody all the perspectives. The reality is Will has been the butt of jokes for the last 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. He's been a butt of jokes nonstop. He's had several. It's like we've seen him on the internet more than the last 2 years, and we see him recently. You know what I'm saying? He's been a butt of jokes from the crime meme, from people saying, you know, I want to be August, to Future responding to saying something about Will, saying I'd rather be Jada or something like that. Like, he's been a butt of jokes, and whether we want to admit it or not, he's still a human being. And just like celebrities go through those depression stages because of the things that are being said about them online, Will probably was going through that. That probably has contributed to a major part of what he's going through. And I don't want to deny that for him, because that is an absolute factor into people's sanity, their mental health. But it's just like, he could have went about it differently. He could have absolutely went about it differently. I'm going to go ahead and go on a limb and say, because at first I was on Chris Rock's side, like, that nigga Will dead ass wrong. I still think Will is dead ass wrong. But I would say this, given the history with Chris Rock making derogatory comments when Jada was absent at the 2016 Oscars, and with the fact that he made a comment about a black woman's hair, I don't know, y'all. I don't know, something about saying a comment about a black woman's hair. I don't know. Okay, in the comments about a black woman's hair, I feel like he might, you know, I ain't saying he deserved to be smacked, but he deserved to have something said to him. I feel like when you start crossing lines about the things you believe in, because Chris Rock made the movie about black hair and how we should leave black women's hair alone, we shouldn't be commenting on it. And that's another thing that we're going to talk about. When he decided to make a movie about black women's hair and the importance of it and the lack of sensitivity around it, that solidified his position on people's opinions of black hair. To go against what you believe and think that anything good is going to come out of it, you a damn fool. Let's just keep it a band. When you cross what you believe in, for whatever reason, I don't care what it is. When you cross over and cross what you believe in to make a joke, to make a movie, to make a meme, to make a post for some likes, for some views, you better know nothing good is going to come from that. And that is a guarantee. So whether or not he made the joke and he did something else against black hair, nothing good was going to come from it. And this time he made a joke about black hair at the Oscars, and he got his ass slapped. And that's for anybody. Cross what you believe in. For a joke, for a laugh, for a meme, for some views, for some likes, whatever. Ain't nothing good gonna come from it. And he got his ass slapped. They no telling what's gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You gonna lose out on so much shit when you start giving up what you believe in for a few fucking giggles. That's just the truth. So he was wrong when he decided to take that joke, knowing how he fucking felt about the hair. And then to go ahead and make a joke about a woman that you already made bad, kind of got bad blood with. Your ass was out of fucking line. And unfortunately, it was the perfect storm. It was a perfect storm. You was speaking about somebody you shouldn't have opened your trap about, and that nigga was already stressed the fuck out. It was just a perfect storm. And it collided. You got your ass slapped at the Oscars, and Will slapped you, and now I don't know. There's an investigation on whether or not he'll be able to keep his Oscars, I believe. So I think that brings us to a really good question. Do you guys believe that Will Smith Oscar should be taken back? Let's ask that. Do you guys think he should be should he be able to keep his Oscars? Should Will Oscar be taken? I feel like this is just like some improper ass English, like a nigga cannot talk. So what do y'all think? I'm gonna go ahead and pin this one comment. Do y'all think Will's Oscar should be taken? Hell no, he better keep it. I don't know. I feel like they might need to send a message to that nigga. Take his shit, cause that nigga ain't like, is you dumb or is you stupid? Like, what the fuck is you doing? And let me say this, cause as much as I like to talk about white people and racism and shit like that, the reality is, a lot of y'all said, not me, cause I didn't give a fuck, right? A lot of y'all was like, he got up there in front of all these white people and just got to acting like this and shit. Let me tell y'all, didn't nobody give a fuck about them white people there? Do y'all think we gave a fuck? Like, when I show my ass, I don't think about nobody else but my kid if he present. When I show my ass, I don't think about how the fuck I look to no white people. Bitch, I came to clown. I came to nut the fuck up. I came to give a show. Bitch, and whoever watching that motherfucker just watching. That nigga knew what the fuck he stood up to do, and he went up there to do it. Who gives a fuck who was there? Who gives a fuck what white people think? They gonna think what the fuck they gonna think any motherfucking way. He was gonna be a nigga with billions or niggas with millions. It did not matter whether he smacked Chris Rock, pushed his ass, slapped his ass, cussed his ass the fuck out. It didn't matter. He was still a nigga. I don't give a fuck what they think, because why should we? We done spent too much time giving a fuck about what white people think of our behavior. Fuck them niggas. Fuck them. Okay? Oh my God. He did some nigga shit. Like, oh, okay. Fuck them. Like, what? Nobody give a fuck. I'm sorry. Like, y'all was really out here like, he looked so crazy. He made it so ghetto. All these white people. Man, fuck them white people. Fuck them. White people was watching. They gonna think we niggas anyway. Ain't nobody bent out of shape. Whatever happened, happened. The only thing that I really am concerned about, that I feel like his actions overshadowed was, or like his actions may have caused, I feel like he drew a line in the sand about comedy and how people respond to jokes. That's something that concerned me. I'm like, damn, like, he smacked this nigga over a joke, regardless of how triggering the joke was. Jokes are insensitive and offensive. That's the irony of it. The shit we laugh at is some wrong ass shit. It be some of the most inappropriate shit, and we just be laughing because it either been us, ain't us. We laugh at jokes that either have been us, ain't us, or ain't us yet. Okay. We love looking at other people's drama. We don't like looking at our drama. That's why we be laughing and shit. That's why we enjoy it. That's the reality. And so, unfortunately, if that joke was triggering, it's just triggering to her, you know? So, he smacked the nigga over a joke. Regardless of how triggering the joke was, it was a joke. And it's just like, damn, like, what's going to happen next time somebody don't like the joke? I think he would have won anyway. He earned the best picture. I'm not sure if him losing his temper should overshadow his actual work as an actor. I could be wrong, though. Yeah, he was going to win anyway. We know that was his time. You know, let me say the two things I thought he overshadowed. When he smacked him, he overshadowed not only his own acceptance speech in his moment, because he turned into another moment of his. He overshadowed his own moment to accept the Oscar. He set the tone for how people will respond, how people can potentially, moving forward, respond to jokes. And he overshadowed all of the other Black excellence that took place that day. I believe Samuel L. Jackson has grossed, I think they said like $1 billion in revenue in movies, and he got his first Oscar untelevised. I don't know what the hell that was about. I haven't looked into it, but that was an issue. This was the first Oscar that was directed by Black excellence. So I believe it was Will Packer, and I'm mad because I can't remember the Black woman that helped co-produce the Oscars this year. They said she was a Metro Detroit native. So a Metro Detroit native and Will Packer, first time the Oscars ever produced by Black people. They did that. And you know, a lot of these other great, excellent, Black excellent moments were overshadowed by this incident. I forgot, I think there were women that hosted. I know Wanda Sykes, I think they said Regina King hosted. I'm sorry, Regina Hall hosted. You know, so it's just like, there were so many other beautiful moments that we really didn't get to celebrate because they were truly overshadowed by this incident. That's the only thing. And it's not like, you know, he purposely went, you know, it's not like he plotted to do this, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, because of that, we didn't get to celebrate these people. We can still celebrate it. It's just that it's always much better in the moment. You know, a lot of outside of the slap, I think another thing that is equally as big as a slap is the comment that a white reporter made to Tiffany Haddish about her costume, and Tiffany corrected her ass and said, "No, baby, this is an evening gown." And if you guys actually watch the entire clip, she goes on to tell her that this is what success looks like. This is mine. I paid for this. And I really appreciate that, because we know some people really do try to come for us and try to downplay us and try to act like we don't know who we are. And I really appreciate Tiffany for putting homegirl in her place respectfully and classy, because she could have got up out of hand, and it all be warranted. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Tiffany for doing her thing. She looked beautiful in her gown. Shout out to all the amazing couples. I saw Lori and Michael B. I saw Serena. I think I saw Zendaya. I saw Janelle Monáe. I saw Beyonce. You just saw amazing actors and entertainers and whatnot, and they all look so beautiful. And there was a lot of Black excellence that went into the Oscars this year, and unfortunately, it was really just overshadowed by the incident with Chris and Will. And that's the only thing that I felt like that was like the other major bad parts, was just that he set the tone for how people respond to jokes. It overshadowed his moment to accept his Oscars. It overshadowed some other iconic Oscars acceptance, and it also overshadowed a lot of the other Black excellence that was poured into that show. Like I said, it was the first time the Oscars were produced by Black creatives, and it was just a lot of other things that didn't get the light that it deserved because of it. But like I said, this really isn't. I don't want to pour too much into that because I also do want to talk about Black hair and the lack of sensitivity around it. And why do I want to talk about? I want to talk about this because whether or not Chris knew what was being said, the reality is that people always feel the need to comment on Black women's hair. And it's really aggravating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's damned if we do, damned if we don't. And I really am tired of people trying to not only disrespect us, but trying to mimic us. It is like, it comes from moving on down from slavery down to Jim Crow. We got the segregation. It's just like Black hair has always gone through its own struggle, and we've worked so hard to be accepted as we are, and goddamn, we still can't get there. Y'all just still can't leave us the fuck alone. And this is what I'm talking about when I say that Black hair is not a fashion fucking statement. It is a cultural thing. It is a foundational part of our culture. And that ain't no way around it. From the afros in the 80s to, the perms and stuff in the 90s, the extensions in the early 2000s, the braids, to quick weaves, to the 27 pieces, to the coming and the trending of faux locks and things like that. Black hair is not a fucking fashion statement. And I get so goddamn mad when people are always saying like, oh, they can wear our hair, it's just braids. Baby, what? They can wear our hair as just braids. It was people that look like them in HR saying we can't get a job because we had braids. Are you fucking kidding me? It ain't just no damn braids. It ain't just no damn hair. You know what I'm saying? Every Black woman I know has had to struggle with her hair at one point or another. If it wasn't a hair loss illness, it was because it won't grow, or it is a certain texture. Black women I know to this day are still struggling with things on how to love their hair. Not necessarily for acceptance, because niggas have just come to the conclusion we just got some nigga hair. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And it's just really learning how to care for our hair, because we were not properly taught. A lot of us were not properly taught how to care for our hair. So it's the lack of sensitivity around it. Whether a woman is bald, whether she got a shortcut, whether she got a wig, box braids, natural hair, it ain't never enough. And our hair often has been a barrier for us getting jobs, for us dating. That is another thing. It's like Black hair is just braids, or it's just this. It's like, your hair didn't cost you a job. My hair cost me a job. Okay, it cost me a promotion. My hair could cost me somebody I'm dating. You know what I'm saying? My hair could cost me to be viewed could be viewed completely outside of who I am, just because of the way my hair looks. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it don't matter how it's worn, it's never enough. And Black women are getting to a point that we are doing what the hell we want to do and appreciating our own stuff, that we still got to deal with motherfuckers trying to tell us how our hair should be worn, what it is and what it ain't. And it's like, mind your motherfucking business. Mind your business. Mind your business, because you don't even have no idea what it takes to be a Black woman with her hair. And it's like, let me tell y'all, Black women, it's like, if your hair is too much of a certain texture, you're not really Black. You must be mixed. And it's the stupidest shit, because Black women create babies of all shades and colors. So it's like, how that makes sense? So if your hair too much of a texture, you really ain't that Black. You must be mixed. If your hair too much of a certain texture, now you a nigga is nappy as this. And it's like, the thing is, we're coming to learn the pros and cons of each texture. The coarser your hair, the longer it takes to get done. But the thing about that is, the longer it takes to get done, the more fragile it is. It's like, but that coarseness and that thickness of your hair is ideal for braids. Braids are not ideal for thinner textures, more finer. It's not, because it's too fine. Braids need something thick and something strong to hold on to. And it's like, that's why I get so pissed when people are like, braids is just braids. Like, baby, you don't understand. It ain't just fucking braids, okay? Braids cannot be worn. Like, the Crown Act was put in place for a reason. Black hair is not just something you can do. It's something you can put on. Like, my hair is a part of my culture. I don't give a fuck how Kim Kardashian wears it. I don't give a fuck who ain't a person of color that tries to, it's just braids. No, bitch, it's not. No, it's not. Do you understand that black hair serves more than one purpose? Black hair it could be a not only could it be a fashion statement, it could be a health thing. Keeping my hair a certain way for my health, for the health of my hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like we wear wigs, we want to be white. Do you know how hard it is to do natural hair? And that's the craziest shit I ever heard. You wear your hair natural, you just lazy. Because I promise you, it's a lot easier slapping a fucking wig on than it is trying to do this shit and have some kids. And keep it moisturized. And keep it looking nice. Like, you motherfuckers are batshit crazy. Like, it's like, hold on. Let me take this comment and get myself together. Because you know what? It be pissing me off. Have you seen the episode of Living Single where my man was told by the white executives to cut his dreads? I know black women go through it a lot, but I've been in a position where I was told. Exactly. Man, yes. You know what? And I've actually binge watched Living Single on 2 different occasions. So, and I don't remember that episode. For some reason, I'm so mad I don't. But I'm not surprised. We've seen time and time again. And I just want to, not just black women. I don't want to just isolate this to black women, black men as well. I've seen time and time again, at least 3 to 4 stories a year where black boys are being told they can't walk across the stage because they have locks. They've attended school all 4 years and it was never an issue. But the moment that it comes from them, the big moment, the grand moment, the grand manifestation of all their hard work for 4 years in high school, they're being told they can't walk across the stage because their hair is in locks and they need to cut it. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you serious? Are you fucking kidding me? And y'all want to still walk around agreeing with people talking about some braids are just braids? No, the fuck it ain't. No, the fuck it ain't. Because you couldn't possibly understand the time, the effort, the energy, the maintenance that goes into putting my hair in these braids, that goes into getting my hair in these braids, that goes into maintaining these braids, that goes into being able to wear my braids in professional settings. The most that professional hair was white hair. It was straight hair. And you see, even a lot of times you see in people that are constantly on front of cameras, specifically news anchors, saying how empowered they felt wearing their natural hair. Can you imagine being told the shit that grow out your head is unprofessional? Bitch, who the fuck is you? Like, it blows me that people really be saying, like, that we really accepted that the shit that grew out of my head was unprofessional. Unprofessional? Well, what the fuck grew out of your head? Professional? Perfect? Like, there's always, you know, it's just so much. It's like, you know, I'm not going to say that it's always been outside, because we've had to deal with our own, you know, comments about our hair. And that's why it's important that I think that black people, it's okay to allow people to admire us, but we cannot allow people to come into our space and dictate what is and what ain't about whatever part of our culture. So that's why I stand firm on the fact that nobody outside of us should be wearing braids. Nobody outside of us should be wearing braids. Y'all just shouldn't. You do not know the cultural you don't understand the cultural significance of the historical significance of braids. You don't understand the historical significance of black hair and what it took to get to this point. It is not for everybody. And it's just like, it's like, I can't remember what culture wears the red dot. Like, y'all should be walking around wearing that. That ain't your culture. Y'all don't walk around wearing the head wraps. You know, that wrap around because it don't mean nothing. Y'all don't go around doing a lot of other things that these other cultures do because it don't mean nothing. It's just a wrap. But you always want to bring y'all ass to black culture trying to tell us what the fuck it is and ain't. And it's like, locks were a big deal. Like, there was a time when getting locks, like, there was an understanding that locks were permanent. But now we're seeing faux locks trending. We're seeing all these people that don't look like us getting these locks and trying to tell us that they not important. That it's not that big of a deal. It's just some locks. Like, y'all the same motherfuckers that was trying to tell us the shit that come out of our scalp ain't professional. Like, it's not neat. It needs to be well kept. Like, I just find it very odd the same people that despise us are imitating us now and trying to tell us how to do our shit. And I think that's the problem. Black people always want to be naive and let everybody in and invite motherfuckers to a cookout. Ain't no fucking cookout. And if it was, your ass ain't coming and you damn sure ain't invited. They don't invite us to no motherfucking cookout when we listen to some country music or some shit, or we throw some raisins and some fucking potato salad. Why the fuck is y'all inviting some motherfuckers to a cookout because they did a dance or put some fucking braids in their head? Shit is dumb. Shit is dumb. It's dumb as fuck and it don't make no sense. And I'm mad that, like, niggas be doing that shit. Ain't no fucking cookout. You not invited and you can't fucking come. Like, our hair is, like, the Crown Act I've just been ranting on and on because that should make me mad. But I did want to talk about the Crown Act, which is legislation that has been passed, and I believe in a few states, that just says that black women, or I think it might be just black people in general, cannot be discriminated based on our hair. Like, do you understand how important that is to say you can't deny me? I don't know if it's just employment. It might be housing as well, but I think it's just employment, that you can't deny me housing or that you can't deny me employment because of my hair. They had to put that shit. You had to make a law to tell people saying you can't tell her she can't get the job because of her hair, and y'all still want to walk around talking about something. It's just hair. It's just no, the fuck it ain't. It ain't just nothing. If they gotta make a whole law to tell motherfuckers that you can't tell me I can't get the job because of my locks or because of my afro, people, let me tell you, I'm working. Can you hear that? Let me tell you something about an experience I had with my hair. I had faux locks in. I do my own faux locks. I had my faux locks in or whatever. And I'm at work. This is back in January. I'm at work and I remember exactly when it was. So I'm at work and my supervisor walks up and he tries to touch my hair. And initially, when somebody go up and try to touch you, especially if you ain't cool with it, you're like, back the fuck up. What you doing? So that's what I said. Hold on, what you doing? Suppose somebody want to touch your hair. I said, why? Suppose somebody look squishy. I have faux locks and I know motherfucking well my hair don't look squishy. I know some squishy shit and I know what squishy look like. That little shit, Play-Doh or slime looks squishy. My hair don't look no fucking squishy. Suppose I want to touch your hair, it looks squishy. I said it ain't squishy. He turns around, he has a ponytail, he goes, you can touch mine. I said, I want to touch your hair. Keep your motherfucking hands out my head. The lack of respect that people have for black hair. To touch my hair and without my permission is a sign of disrespect. You are invading my personal space. Keep your fucking hands to yourself. That is a rule, a unspoken rule growing up in the black community. You don't let nobody put their hands in your head because we know motherfuckers is dirty. They don't wash their hands. Keep your hands to your motherfucking self. And don't go around touching black people's hair like they're a fucking pet, like they're a fucking animal at a petting zoo. Don't touch me. And if you want to touch me, ask me. Your hair looks soft. Can I touch it? Oh my God, your hair's so long, can I touch it? But you don't just go put your motherfucking hands up to somebody's head and then act all shocked and shit when they smack you in your fucking face. Are you dumb? There is a lack of respect when it comes to black people's personal space, our bodies and our hair. And I'm fed the fuck up with people trying to say it's just hair. It's not just hair. If it was just hair, they wouldn't need to make a law about it. Okay? Keep your hands to yourself. Don't touch nobody here unless they let you. And you don't need to be touching nobody unless they give you permission. That goes for hair, anything. Hair, arm, foot, anything. Don't touch nobody without their permission. Keep your hands to your motherfucking self. Okay? I really feel like I got off topic. But the Crown Act, I always want to spin back around to the Crown Act. The Crown Act is just legislation that's being passed. If you can Google it. It really just goes to say that as far as we haven't come that damn far. And I really feel like we have to do a better job of protecting and preserving the parts of our culture that are under attack. And we need to do so through the arts. That means through literature. That means through physical artwork, through music. And if it comes to protecting and preserving, even through legislation. Our hair, black women hair, our hair is our crown. It is, we have such an emotional attachment to it. It is, your hair is your crown and your glory. And it's like, to lose that, to not be able to make a choice and for it to just be taken away and stripping you of a big part of your identity. And that can lead to very, it's very troubling, it takes a toll on your health. It takes a toll on your mental health. Especially when, your hair, I really just don't understand. It's a big part of who we are. Okay? From the rituals of getting your hair pressed, to getting perms, to getting braids. There's always the joke that black people don't go swimming or black women don't go swimming. We ain't trying to mess up our hair. Absolutely. Absolutely, baby. Okay? Our hair is a top priority in our life and has been. We've always been conditioned like that. And nothing's going to change about that. So when there are people that don't understand the small complexities about it, making jokes, but you always want to be around us, it's like, you need to be educated. We need to train you. And you need to quit acting like you know it all when you don't. And I really encourage every white person, anybody that's not a person of color, that if you have questions or concerns about Black hair, or you want to learn, you ask a Black person around you that you feel comfortable with. And don't just assume that because you hang around a lot of Black people that you even know what it's like to be Black, because I can promise you, this is not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? And just because you hang around Black people, or you listen to a lot of rap music, or you dress a certain way, you are not Black. Absolutely not Black. And under no circumstances should you ever assume that because you have Black friends that you know what it's like to be Black. That you're more Black than a suburban Black person, because at the end of the day, you are just a white or non-person of color hanging around Black people. You just got some Black friends. That's it. And I always want people to remember your lane, and I want you to stay in it. And I want that to also be a reminder to Black people. Like, you can have, I don't think there's anything wrong with networking and meeting friends and having family that's not of the same race to you. It's absolutely nothing. You know, you love who loves you, absolutely. But don't ever get it twisted. Don't ever let nobody try to tell you who you are, more of who you are, or how to be Black, or that your Black is not Black enough. Because at the end of the day, one of y'all are going to be judged by the color of your skin, no matter what you look like, what you sound like, what you dress like. And one of y'all are never going to understand the what that's like. So be more sensitive about Black hair. Don't touch no Black people. And Black people. Okay, one moment. I really have to actually wrap this up. Black people, be more sensitive about your hair. Be more accepting. Give yourself more grace. Give yourself more peace. I actually do have to wrap tonight's episode up. I'm going to go out the same way I came in. Give you guys something I'm grateful for. And I am grateful for... One moment. I'm about to come. I'm grateful for having this episode, for the amount of, success and views and eyes I'm getting on Let's Talk the Show. And I just hope that you learned something. And I hope that we continue to grow together. And I can't wait to see where the show is within the next few years. That's all I got for you guys. As always, my name is Cherrell Carter. I'm the host of Let's Talk the Show. This is my son, Kareem. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Peace.